The Department of Public Works, or DPWH, has announced a major project for 2025, and that is to rehabilitate the entire stretch of EDSA. Among the goals is to, of course, ease the worsening traffic and make traveling along EDSA more comfortable. Let's listen to DPWH Secretary Manny Bonoan.
Ang gusto ni Presidente, dapat we have to improve actually yung riding quality of EDSA. We will rehabilitate the entire EDSA starting 2025. Kasi sa ngayon, dumaan ka sa EDSA, kung minsan nahihirapan ka mag-text sa kakakalbog ng sasakyan. So I think it's about time that we need to rehabilitate EDSA once and for all.
Well, the question everyone must be asking right now is, where do we even begin to start to fix EDSA? And joining us tonight for answers to that is Mr. Edgardo Amistad. He is with the MAP, or Management Association of the Philippines, and he was the former president of COCO Finance and COCO Foundation. Good evening, Edgardo. Welcome to The Big Story.
Good evening, ladies. I'm pleasantly surprised to be with all of you tonight.
Okay. So I do recall maybe not a couple of months ago, but many months ago, we had someone from the MAP talk about EDSA rehab. And I know you have some thoughts on this as well. But being with the MAP, what data do you have about EDSA? How bad has it gotten? And really, how possible is it to rehabilitate the entire stretch?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate DPWH for finally doing the rehabilitation. It should have been done many years ago, but well, as the saying goes, better late than never. The issue of where do you start? Probably the best answer is you start with the least inconvenience to the riding public. But the problem with EDSA, I don't think you have a portion that you can rehabilitate without inconveniencing the riding public. So it's a no-win situation for DPWH, but whether we like it or not, whether there's going to be inconvenience, we really have to do it. We really have to rehabilitate it. Otherwise, it will be getting worse, and it will be more difficult to fix the highway system later or in the future.
But Mr. Amistad, before we continue, the DPWH also said last year that this 2025, sometime in October, they have to already retrofit the Guadalupe Bridge, and that is a major chunk of EDSA right there. So where do we even begin to start? If you try to improve the riding quality of EDSA, I take it to mean it's kind of like a face value job, just smoothen the top part. But what about all the things in the bottom, like holding it up, all the support structures, the foundation? We have seen extreme weather ruining roads in the provinces.
Yeah, well, I'm not an engineer, so I don't have the solution to that. But actually, in addressing the problem of EDSA, it's not just the infrastructure issue, but also the transportation. And luckily for us, they were able to rehabilitate the MRT, and they were able to introduce the busway system before implementing the rehabilitation of the whole EDSA. So at least the riding public or those with vehicles, they have an option to use the public transportation while the rehabilitation will be pursued. No? But there's no easy solution. We really have to pay for the sins of the past, the neglect that was committed many years in the making. And now, the moment you rehabilitate it now, you just have to accept that there will be inconvenience.
Mr. Amistad, help us understand the gravity of the problem and how critical this project is, because I am a driver, and as I pass that road every single day, and to be honest, it is the better road compared to the other roads that we have. Why are we allocating the money to this highway instead of other infrastructure projects that will probably help widen our options. Why do we need to rehabilitate EDSA now? Help us understand.
Because if we don't do it now, it will be more difficult to rehabilitate it later because the problem will just multiply. So we really have no option but to bite the bullet. And uh, EDSA was actually constructed probably in the 1960s, latest 1970s. From that time on, all we did was to do repair, piecemeal repair, usually done during weekends, reblocking. And reblocking has been going on for decades already. But if you look at the condition of EDSA, it's still the same. It's not improving. So,
Sir, ano po yung pinaka-problema dito? Kasi bukod sa, syempre alam naman, isa rin naman tayo sa baku-bakundaan, ano? Pero ano nakikita ninyo na talagang hindi na makapaghihintay na problema dito sa EDSA? And are you only looking at the roads where cars pass? Are you also looking at rehabilitating, for example,
The sidewalks.
sidewalks, pati yung daanan ng mga tao, yung pedestrian? I mean, do you think the government is looking at those things? Or are we focusing on the motorists?
Because they did call it a riding quality, an improvement in riding quality, which gives us the impression no, na pang sasakyan na naman to.
from what I've heard, they want to do a holistic approach. So it's not just for the riding public or for the car owners, but also for the riding public. Remember, EDSA is the most traversed highway in the country. Around 400,000 to 500 cars or vehicles traverse the area on a daily basis. And if this is our number one highway, it is like our business card. You know, how good are we in maintaining or implementing projects? EDSA is a basis for judging the management capability of government. So for the residents also of Metro Manila, it's like our grand entryway to the city. So it must be a showcase also in terms of beautification. So it's not just rehabilitating it, but improving the aesthetic condition of the highway.
Okay, about half a year ago, Mr. Amistad, you guys over at the MAP, you guys recommended, calling for a state of calamity given the crisis in traffic. To actually, the government should acknowledge this traffic crisis first exists, right, before we can do something about it. In terms of the implementation, are still pushing for that? I know that was a big plan. And we guested another one of you guys that time. That was about 6 months ago. This requires, fixing the bus lanes, traffic management teams, dividing into zone, a traffic czar. Is that still something that you guys are lobbying for?
I'm not privy to the stand of MAP in as far as appointing a traffic czar is concerned. But even without a traffic czar, I think the point is government has already acknowledged that there is a big problem and it must be faced immediately. And the approach, from what I've heard, is that it should be a holistic approach. When you say holistic approach, you cannot solve the traffic problem by just fixing EDSA. No? It must include the other road system in the Metro Manila area. Otherwise, the problem will still remain. The problem will still be there unless you approach it as in a holistic way, not only EDSA, but include the other road system, including what you mentioned, building pedestrians for the general public. Because let's face it, the public transportation will not be able to bring the the riding public all the way to their exact destination. They still have to walk somehow, and it will help if the condition of the walkways are incorporated in addressing the issue.
Well, sir, DPWH Secretary Manny Bonoana expressed optimism that this rehabilitation project could be finished within a year, could be completed within the year. Do you agree? I mean, realistically, how long do you think this will take?
I'm not too sure whether 1 year is enough, but for me, just to start the project is a big win already for the riding public. Better to start now, even if it takes more than a year. I think the people can wait for as long as there is a some sort of a solution to the problem. There is a reckoning date where they can expect better things to come in when they use the EDSA highway.